Hillsborough State Attorney Andrew Warren here in the studio this morning. Good to see you again, Andrew.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you. You know, I want to take you back to election night. The results were coming in. Here you were going up against Mark Ober. Some would consider it David versus Goliath. You saw these numbers coming in, and you're thinking to yourself, what?
Well, the whole day, actually, from the beginning was really memorable. I spent most of the day at a precinct, and in the afternoon, my wife and my kids came to meet me so that we can meet voters. When the polls closed, I went home. It was actually my younger daughter's 3rd birthday, so being with her was the most important thing for us right then. But then after a hard, long-fought campaign, it was really important to me when I'd spent so much time away from my family just to be home with them, to celebrate the end of the campaign and watch the results come in.
When did the reality really set in? Was it the morning after? Did it set in that you had actually won, that you had ousted Ober from his seat?
Well, it set in that evening. I mean, we had a really good feeling going into Election Day. We'd worked extremely hard during the campaign to reach voters throughout the county and had gotten a lot of good feedback. I mean, there was a consensus that people wanted a change in what we were doing in our system, and so we had some confidence going into Election Day that we were going to prevail.
Let's talk about the first 100 days in office in terms of evaluating what you had to work with before. Have you made any changes? It's only been 100 days, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the transition's been really successful, and we got to work on day 1 after the election day, even though that was 2 months before I got sworn into office. I started meeting right away with the other stakeholders in the criminal justice system, so law enforcement leaders, community leaders, members of the defense bar and the judges, and my future colleagues within the office. And the point of that was to be able to share my vision for what we were going to do in the system, as well as to get input from all those other important stakeholders. Because at the end of the day, this is a team effort. This is about a partnership with the other people who make a difference in our system.
Well, you talk about that team effort, you talk about that partnership. Many of the attorneys that now work for you had worked for Ober for a very long time, if you will. So I'm wondering, did you face any pushback, or were they actually receptive to change? I guess we would say overall.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have an office of 300+ dedicated public servants who are committed to doing their jobs well. And we've done a lot of things. I mean, I came into the job thinking like a new CEO approaching being the head of a new business. And so we put so many different things under the microscope, evaluating processes and systems in place, everything from charging decisions to make sure that we were being fair and impartial in how we charge cases, to administrative processes to make sure that we're actually using tax dollars efficiently. But the biggest thing, frankly, was that we've had people in the office needing to change the culture a little bit, and they've been welcome to that, to make sure that their job is to actually make the community safer in the long run.
So one of the biggest issues that you were going on was overhauling the juvenile justice system to reduce the number of cases so they wouldn't be tried as an adult court. I'm wondering, have you been able to make anything happen on that front?
Yeah, absolutely. So with regard to juvenile justice, we're doing a few things. One is that we've already been changing the number of direct files to reduce the number of juveniles who are processed through the adult court system. We're committed to expanding and have been working with the other stakeholders to expand the juvenile citation program that's set to expire this summer. We're working with other law enforcement agencies right now to work on a pre-arrest diversion program for adults, so similar to the juvenile citation program. So there are a lot of things we're doing to make sure that we are diverting low-level nonviolent offenders away from prison. Because ultimately, that's not only good because it gives people a second chance, it's not only smart because it's efficient with tax dollars, but that's how we keep the community safe in the long run.
I want to talk about something that you and I have actually talked about before, and that was your counterpart in Orlando, Aramis Ayala. She's made a lot of headlines, and of course that was because of the she wouldn't be prosecuting any death penalty cases, and this stems from that one case, accused cop killer Markeith Lloyd. We watched this this battle with Governor Rick Scott escalate. The governor's taken away all of her death penalty cases. She's filed a federal lawsuit against him. Where do you think this is going now?
Prosecutorial discretion is sacred, and interfering with prosecutorial discretion undermines not only our criminal justice system, but it also impedes the local control that's a founding principle of our nation.
Are you saying that the governor should not have done what he did?
I'm saying that the state attorney is accountable to the voters in her district, just like I'm accountable to the voters in my jurisdiction.
I'm hearing the governor should not have done what he did.
Again, my point is that the voters determine whether the state attorney is exercising his or her discretion properly. And here in Hillsborough County, the decision to seek the death penalty is one of the most serious, solemn decisions you make as a prosecutor. And we're going to continue to seek the death penalty locally in the most egregious, worst of the worst cases where it fits within the constitutional framework set forth by the U.S. Supreme Court and the Florida Supreme Court.
So we'll see how this works out. No doubt there's a long way to go before this happens. Okay. Thanks for joining us this morning. We really
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming
Thank you
in
so
for
much.
your
It's great
first
to see you.
100 days in office. Yeah, great to see you too.